Sorry, Miss Jackson.
I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but try to play it cool. Baby, I ain't playing by your rules.
I am for real.
Why you always in the mood?
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
I ain't tryna tell you what to do, but
Everything's cool.
baby, I ain't playing by your rules.
Never meant to make your dog.
In the mood. Okay.
My name is Zoe. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at The Dreaded Trainer. I'm here with David of RunBuddy Mobile. He provides services around the Phoenix Valley. You can find him on Instagram and TikTok at RunBuddy Mobile. So tell me the areas around that you service and kind of like the far and wides that you
Yeah,
go.
so, you know, we cover the whole valley, but what's considered the Phoenix Metro Valley, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we do go as far west sometimes, you know, as Buckeye, and as far east as Apache Junction. Where we don't go as Maricopa, Casa Grande.
Okay.
We don't go up to Avondale, we go up to Cave Creek. But we cover a wide swath of land, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how long have you been doing this in the area?
So we launched RunBuddy Mobile May 1st, 4 years ago. So we've been in business 4.5 years now.
Oh, wow. So what got you started doing it?
Well,
You seem like a veteran, so.
well, I've been running dogs on treadmills for 20 years, and I first started running dogs on treadmills as a way to rehabilitate E-list pit bulls, right? I was, you know, set to be euthanized.
Okay.
So somebody approached me. They saw that my pit bull was very well behaved, and they're like, I'm going to have to put Blue down. She bit somebody for like a 7th time. And I said, look, I will take her in, but she's my dog now, because honestly, he was a horrible owner.
Okay,
So
that's fair.
I took her in, I rehabilitated her through my methodology, which is, you know, a lot of structure, but I do the exercise first, getting the dog's mind right and open to the training. And then over the years, I just kept training dogs and kept rehabilitating dogs. And when I finally landed in Arizona, I started volunteering with the fire department search and rescue dog team.
Okay, yeah.
And I needed a way to get my treadmill to the firefighter. So that's when I went from RunBuddy to RunBuddy Mobile.
Gotcha.
I outfitted and built my dog gym, and you know, now we cover the whole valley, and we have 6 dog gyms, and we're
6
running
of these
dogs.
vehicles?
Yeah, we have 6
Oh,
dog gyms now.
Okay, so it's not just you that runs these
No, I
vehicles
got
around.
certified canine fitness coaches that I train with all my techniques that I've developed over the 20 years of running dogs on treadmills.
Oh, that's awesome. So last time you and I spoke, you said that you hand make these treadmills.
Yeah, we build them custom.
Okay.
They're manufactured specifically for RunBuddy Mobile.
So you get the pieces all together and you screw it all together. And,
Yeah, something like that. We now have a team that's going to be building them for the
Okay.
franchises, a bunch of technicians, and they'll be pumping out of the factory to keep up with the demand
Okay.
of franchises as we start expanding across the country.
So do you know how many treadmill units you have now? Like, do you have a count of that?
Yeah, well, there's 6 dog gyms, and each one of them has 4.
Okay, so
24 of
my
them
math is right.
currently.
Yeah, 24.
Actually, and I have a few extras lingering around the house from test models and stuff. So
Yeah. So I'm assuming you run anything from, Chihuahuas to these big Mastiffs.
anything from a 2.5-pound dog, mind you, I can probably run a 2-pound dog. I just haven't
Okay.
come across one yet.
Okay.
Up to a 240, 250-pound dog. So a small horse.
Have you run dogs
The
that big?
biggest dog we've had is 195, 196 pounds.
Wow.
I've been promised a 200-pound dog, but nobody's come through.
Wow. So what are your, hours of operation, like Monday through?
We pretty much run 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. 6 days a week, essentially.
So
We
Monday
close
through
on
Saturday.
Sundays.
Okay, close
For
on Sunday.
cleaning and maintenance.
Okay. So can you tell people, where they can book you? Do they book you online? Do they give you a
Yeah,
call?
so you can go online. You can go to runbuddy.com, and it's great because you fill out a little questionnaire. Every dog gets a customized specific workout according to their goals and current physical ability.
Okay.
So we're gonna, at that moment is also when we decide if we need to get a vet involved, for medical cases. We do weight loss, pre and post surgery, high energy dogs, lethargic dogs, old injuries, get those muscles going, mobility issues, reactive, aggressive, abused, anxiety, fear, depression, whatever it is. I'm
Okay,
going to
yeah.
help the dog shake it through exercise, fitness, and a jolt of adrenalines and endorphins. So you go to runbuddy.com, you fill out that questionnaire, you're going to get a text or a call. If it requires a call, obviously, we need a bigger conversation.
Sure.
You're going to get pretty much handheld through the whole thing while we book your first session, ask you a bunch of questions, and, book your session and get you scheduled.
Yeah, so what got you into canine fitness specifically? Because, that, of course, ranges from, more sporty dogs like, the Vizslas and the herders.
Honestly, It stemmed from first getting a dog's mind right and being able to rehabilitate reactive and aggressive dogs.
Okay.
That was my first true passion. I started getting into dog training, and I knew with a 100-pound pit bull that it was going to have to be exercise. So I started biking my dog up and down the street in my shirt and tie before my mortgage job every morning. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And one day he saw a cat.
Okay.
And he veered left exit stage, and boom.
There you go.
We ate it in the grass, right? And it was the only house on the block with nice grass. So I can't even say it was that bad. I still remember the house specifically because they had the nicest grass on the block.
Yeah.
And that night I started my treadmill treatment. I had kind of planned it, and but I knew that night it was on. Like you had to start running on a treadmill, Mac. That's it. I had it, right? So then I started doing that. And then I really quickly just reading the dogs, seeing what I was being able to accomplish. People struggle from 3 months to a year
For sure, yeah.
to assimilate this reactive dog to their house when it gets adopted. And I can speed that up in this super efficient manner inside the confines of this climate controlled mobile dog gym.
Yeah, yeah.
And then a couple of years into my dog training career, this little boy in San Francisco was killed by his pit bulls. And that was my moment, right? Where I was like, and I was a little naive at the time because I was just like, I'm going to show everybody what pit bulls are really like when you exercise them properly. And now, it's gone from pit bulls to labs to Rotties to German Shepherds to now every dog on the spectrum, from Shih Tzus to Vizslas to St. Bernards to
I can imagine
Bernese
Saint
Mountain Dogs, Irish Wolfhounds.
Yeah.
And the best thing is seeing the differences in their dogs,
Yeah.
but also seeing the things that they do the same according to breed.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
I've had 1,000 Goldens and they all do one thing the same. That's not guessing anymore. That's macro data right there. Like I know what that dog's going to be like.
Yeah.
And, every once in a while you'll see a dog that doesn't fit the mold. But let me tell you, German Shepherds come in, they're nervous, they go, job. And they put their head down and they go to work. And it's just like all German Shepherds, just like, typical German Shepherd.
Yeah, they love to
the
work.
quarterback of the football team. I'm going to work,
Yeah. So you would say that the first step to getting a dog's mind in the right place is exercise.
Yeah, how can you even choose a training methodology? The battles online between free force or force free and balance and all this and aversives and all this.
Yeah.
How do you even know what to use if you haven't given that dog the proper amount of exercise? Now remember, dogs were bred to do a job. We've now taken that job away from them and expecting our dogs to build muscle on a flat ground walk with their human.
Sure.
It's not the same. When they created, let's just say, an Australian Shepherd, never ever did they think it was going to be a girl who drinks lattes and lives in a one-bedroom apartment that has an Australian Shepherd.
Yeah.
This dog
Yeah.
is meant to herd sheep.
Yeah.
And with that herding of the sheep comes a certain type of exercise that builds a certain muscle mass on this dog that keeps this dog mobile and active longer and happier and healthier through their life. We have this epidemic of hip dysplasia and joint issues and surgeries in dogs when you could just build up the proper muscle structure. Pushing the non-motorized belt is going to build up their back legs, it's going to keep the dog mobile, and it's going to put their mind into a work state of mind. You're going to get a calm, healthy. People are like, oh, you tire dogs out. I go, no. I get dogs fulfilled.
Yes. Yeah.
15 minutes tired lasts 15 minutes. But a fulfilled dog will be in a different state of mind for 4 to 5 days at a time, which is most of
agree
our
more.
customers run once a week. And people are like, are you kidding me? What's that going to do? It's going to change you and your dog's life.
Yeah. So, and you were explaining to me the science behind it, because obviously as a dog trainer myself, I say the same thing to people. Your dog needs to be fulfilled, but you were really digging into the science behind it with me. So, and I've seen the feedback, the negative feedback that you get as well about running dogs. But can you explain to people, the benefits of, no matter what kind of dog you have, the benefits of putting them on a treadmill like this?
And, well, the crazy thing is that they're non-motorized treadmills, so they're a completely different thing that I think people are judging at first.
Sure.
At first, they think it's motorized, right? So when we say it's non-motorized, we explain the benefits, and then that's when they're like, we don't like your hair, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And it's like showing people, and really you can do a deep dive into the internet. Find the literal blueprint of when your dog was created.
Yeah.
And the one thing you'll see constant among breeds is limitations on flat ground walking.
Okay.
It was literally written into the dog's blueprint. So it's not a matter as if it's good for them. It's more of a matter of walking your dog on flat ground as your only form of exercise is literally bad for them, and you're slowly leading your dog to early immobility.
Okay, because of the lack of use of those muscles.
Because the lack of use, because dogs on a flat ground walk at a human's pace, put 2/3 their weight on their front paws. So if you can imagine, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, they start to splay out. And everybody who's had a senior dog, lean forward, splayed out, back legs tall and skinny.
Yeah.
And then that's why I work them out on the non-motorized treadmill. They're pushing that with their back legs. We're putting those back legs back into gear, and we're adding years of mobility to that dog's life.
Yeah. So if you can explain, like, because I'm sure you've had plenty of dogs, like you said, pre and post surgery and, joint injuries. Can you explain some of the progress that you've seen from, here's my German Shepherd and they think you might have hip dysplasia to sessions down the line?
So for example, we have dogs that start going immobile and within a few sessions, they're jogging around the backyard. Because usually I'll show up to run the puppy and I hear a dog barking inside. Who's that? Oh, lady, she doesn't like to walk anymore. It's like, no, she's tired of walking on flat ground. She doesn't have confidence in her back legs. Because what I've noticed is that dogs give up on themselves mentally before it's time. Right? They don't have the strength in their back legs, so they won't get up. Because that dog I work them out a couple of weeks, and all of a sudden that dog's running around the backyard. So what happened? Were you old? No. You just lacked confidence and you lacked strength in your back legs. And now I'm essentially bringing that dog's back legs back to life.
Yeah, and what you hear all the time is that, you hear all the time that, dogs won't fight on their back legs but back legs are super important for dogs. I mean, it, propels them forward. It's where their strength comes from, that and their chest.
Yeah, and now you can imagine you have an overweight dog that is overcompensating even more with their front paws, which is why so many people fail trying to get their dog to lose weight. They're like, but my dog's overweight, he won't run. Then you got to walk that dog uphill. You got to take that dog on trails. You have to engage the rest of their body because you're still feeding your dog the same, but they're not using the back third of their body, their biggest muscles, their thighs and their butt cheeks. You got to, I often make jokes, I build Instagram dog booties. You got to get those back legs buff and your dog's going to stay mobile.
Yeah, so tell us about the most athletic and maybe the least athletic dogs you've come across and how this has changed them.
Well, with the weight loss journeys and the older dogs, it's not that they're not athletic, it's that you're building their strength up. When it comes to working out on a non-motorized treadmill, a lot of people kind of put too much weight on the physical part, and the dogs that go the fastest are because they're the most mentally sound.
Okay.
So a dog with drive and mentally sound without anxiety, fear, and reactive issues, some of those things, those are the dogs that are fastest because they have a clear mind and they're able to learn and accomplish the goal at hand.
Sure, yeah.
So sometimes, with people I want to see a greyhound down there, and it's like, no, the pit bulls are faster because greyhounds are sight hounds. They only run fast because they want to kill that rabbit, right? So in here, they do good, but they don't have that work drive that a pit bull, German Shepherd, Belgian Malinois has, or even a Golden or a Lab, where they need to do that job. And that's what drives the dogs in the non-motorized treadmill. It's the mental aspect of it.
Yeah, so, I mean, it sounds like, you have a really, really good understanding of the needs by breed as well. I mean, obviously, you could take a dog, my Rottweiler size and put them on the treadmill, but it seems that their DNA kind of kicks in a different kind of way.
It does.
And same machine, different dog, different levels of fulfillment, but same kind of fulfilled kind of dog.
Same fulfilled kind of dog. And every dog's going to get the best exercise that they're going to get on that day. A dog can have an off day and just not be feeling it.
Sure, yeah.
Didn't get his 2 treats after he was a good boy, and now he comes in with an attitude,
Yeah, sure.
And then, before you know it, he's like, all right, fine, and then he starts booking it again.
Have you ever run, just out of curiosity, have you ever run wolf dogs or wolf hybrids?
I run an Irish wolfhound, but I don't think that's what you mean. The wolf hybrids, which is like half husky or half wolf like that, I have not come across one. And with anybody listening that wants to get into that, I recommend that you stay as far away from that as possible. They are not dogs. They need way more space and way more likely to bite your arm off. A lot of people got a kink for, I want a wolf dog. It's like, no, you don't. You have a farm and you know what you're getting into. By all means, have at it. But they need more like a zoo enclosure than a dog kennel.
Way more space to run and stuff.
I had a dog that was part wolf, but definitely more on the dog side. And they had the DNA test to prove it. It was a big dog, a big Malamute looking dog. But I've only had one in here.
Okay. So have you always run dogs in Arizona?
So I started in California and then I moved to Miami, but we launched RunBuddy Mobile here in Arizona.
Okay. So have you noticed, I guess, any difference in, because, out in California, what I experience is everybody's got a dog and everybody's taking their dog out. I've never been to Miami, so I can't speak on it.
Yeah.
But what I've seen is that more dogs get more physical exertion time in California than here. So
Well,
have you
a lot
noticed?
of it has to do with the summer here.
Sure,
And
yeah,
your abilities to do that. And honestly, a lot of people walk their dogs in California, where a lot of people in Arizona hike their dogs.
Mm-hmm.
It might be less, but now who's getting more? And the truth is that there's a lot of dogs everywhere.
Yeah.
There is so many dogs. And when you look at society right now, not wanting to have kids, more and more people are having dogs.
Guilty.
And, you know, dogs are going to outnumber people soon if if we keep doing it right.
Yeah. Oh, so for people who, I do this once or twice a week, but I want to continue my dogs. I want to give my dog what this does on the other days of the week. What would you suggest the exercise be for them?
So most of the people, like we said, use us once a week, and some people twice a week in the summer, depending on the dog's energy levels. But I'm always telling people that if walking is your only form of exercise, you're doing it wrong.
Okay.
So what I recommend is if you can, you get a flirt pole or play fetch, get your dog some exercise, and then go for a walk. What you're going to do is you're going to get those back legs stretching, so it's going to be physically better for them, but then mentally, your dog will start looking at that walk with you, if you add a little structure after the exercise, as more of a job they're doing with you. And now you're getting into that deeper part of their squishy part of their brain and getting them to focus in a different level.
Okay. So last question for you. Do you have any projection of any new things coming for RunBuddy Mobile that you want to tell people?
Well, we just started franchising, so the first franchise will be open in the next couple of months.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that that's a snowball that gets us rolling, and the plan is to be in all 50 states and Canada as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I don't have projections yet. I think it's going to catch on like wildfire, especially we have the training in place, like where I bring people in and I coach them how to be and how to do it like I do.
Yeah.
And I'm the best damn dog runner in the world. There's
Yeah.
not a single person in the world that can get dogs going as quickly as I can. And that's just my ability to read dogs, adjust the treadmills, and put the dogs where they're telling me they want to be.
Yeah, I'll say, my dog now, she's we say she's sensitive.
She's
You know,
sensitive.
she's sensitive, and she's very much more alert to things. We have a fake tree in the house, and makes her nervous to walk past it. So, she's very sensitive, and she can be nervous. So we were nervous about coming here, and we're thinking she's going to crouch and shut down, but she got on there and just took off.
Yeah.
So I will say that my expectations were absolutely just exceeded. I'm hooked personally. She's knocked out.
There was just this one moment where we could have let her nervousness take over or let her shut down, but again, we just encouraged her positively. We gave her a moment to kind of get her bearings. We gave her a few adjustments, and she was balanced and going.
Yeah, personally, like I said, I'm hooked, and I saw her confidence, kind of go up a little bit.
Her swagger started.
Yeah,
kicking in
I really
on
want to bring her
shoulders.
back a couple times a week. I'm kind of hooked. She's knocked out, and when she's asleep, I'm at peace at home. So I'm really sold on the service, and this is not going to be Queen's last time.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what other kind of dogs you run. I hope you get your 200-pound dog.
Yeah, one of these
I really
days.
do. I've come across, I think, 220 St. Bernard, but
Nice.
no, I'm excited to see where you guys go.
Thank you so
and how
much.
the franchise just spreads out. The world, the country needs to see it.
Yeah, and a portion of every run gets donated to running dogs at shelters and rescues.
Okay,
And
yeah,
we're going to
yeah.
continue that as we cross the nation. And my goal is to save 1 million dogs' lives in 1 year.
Oh, I love that.
So if you can Google how many dogs were put down, you'll see that it's anywhere between 4 and 5 million for a lot of weird little issues that people don't even know how their dogs got.
Sure.
This helps eliminate a lot of that.
Yeah.
A lot of that pent up frustration for dogs, anxiety, fear, skittish behavior can be cured here. And now we're ensuring that that dog is going to be in their home forever and not nip somebody on accident as a senior.
I love that. Yeah, I'm going to look more into that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This was awesome. We run dogs.
Rini, you did great. Except for the whining at the beginning. She's great. Look at her. She looks fulfilled to me.
Legit.